Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
Hey, Ola, it's Miles. Thank you guys for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast.
Have you heard our newest podcast? It's called The Greatest Story Never Told.
Download it today on radio.com. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded every Tuesday at noon.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to Season 15, Episode number 3,361. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, The Ted Smith, and Mike Hawk. And you are in the Men's Room. On tap today, the return of Who Sucks Less. We will play Profile This. Plus headlines, the Men's Room Shout of the Day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted.
Click, clack, drinking and drive.
All right, here we go. The states of New Jersey, Arizona, Montana, and South Dakota all vote to legalize the Mary Jane. Meanwhile, Google searches for liquor stores near me at an all-time high as a way to ease the pain. A new whiskey promises to taste like an 8-point buck. Bank teller has robber pull a machete and merely laughs at the schmuck. And police in Portland catch a robbery suspect with a couch tied on top of his car. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, we are all familiar with singer Phil Collins. Well, he split with his ex-wife for a second time, and he had to file an eviction lawsuit to get her to move out of his Miami mansion. Now, see, they divorced in 2008, then they got back together 4 years ago, but Phil ended things just this past August when she secretly married another man. Now, that is a deal breaker for sure. I think we could all agree on that one. But on the other end of the spectrum, a woman in India, she filed for divorce and filed a legal complaint when her husband revealed that he's bald and had been wearing a hairpiece. She says she would have never married him if she knew he was bald. Is she petty? Well, sure, but for her, that was a deal breaker. Now, a different woman gave her husband an ultimatum. Stop spending $500 a month on Funko Pop Vinyl figures or get served divorce papers. And in case you're wondering, he chose the Funko Pops. I gotta be honest with you, it's a pretty cool series. He's like, all right, peace. Now, not all deal-breaking situations are romantic relationships, of course. People lose jobs and quit jobs when they get to the deal-breaking point. A man in Germany, he lost his job of 13 years after countless promotions, countless raises, countless good reviews. Why? For, among other things, wearing khakis all the time and being, quote, too American. It should be noted, he is American. They hired him knowing he's American. He worked there for 13 years, but still, that was the knock. We'll share the story coming up. But today we're talking about deal breakers, right? So it could be relationships, work, food. Don't give Miles a sandwich on ciabatta bread. Don't try to sneak blue cheese to Ted. Do not give Mike an avocado. And don't give me goddamn raisins. It's pretty simple. These, for us, are deal breakers. So today's question is this. In life, love, or food, What for you is a deal breaker?
Be part of the big show. Call 206-421-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
Top Gun Maverick is the #1 movie in the world.
Damn right.
It's an absolute blast from start to finish, and one of the greatest movies ever made.
Having any fun yet?
Tom Cruise, Top Gun Maverick, rated PG-13.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Call the fellas, and away we go. Welcome to season 15, episode number 3,361. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat.
You think so?
Steve, absolutely, yeah. And we are less than 1 week away from Live Day.
That is correct.
We are doing it live. Live Day is Tuesday, November 10th. We're getting ready to go. BJ and Miggs in our show. We will be completely live all day long. Be a part of the live broadcast and podcast audience as well. If you join us for our Live Day halftime Zoom room.
Yes, the Zoom room.
Yeah, BJ and Miggs will be doing it after their show from 10:30 until 11:30. We're going to do ours a pre-funk from 12 until 1. Your chance to ask us anything you want, completely unfiltered. We're going to hang out and do a little Zoom thing and maybe enjoy an ice cold beverage and get ready to go for a little Live Day action. And by the way, part of the ticket proceeds, that'll go towards Codes for Kids and the Washington State Council of Firefighters and Operation Warm. So you're doing some good there. It's only 50 people per show.
Right.
So there are a limited number of tickets. Live Day presented, of course, by the Advocates. Tickets and all the details on Live Day at KISW.com. So there you go on that. We're getting set for Live Day. As we speak, they are out there.
Setting up right
Yes,
now.
they're setting up and getting stuff ready to go for it.
Grabbing an artificial tree and moving it.
Lots of questions, lots of technical stuff. Obviously, this year's Live Day will be completely different once again.
Way different.
We've done
feel
this,
like it's different every year, but this year is unprecedented different because no one's really together.
6th year, is that right? Seems like
I think it's the 6th or 7th year.
We started in the studios initially just to see if we could pull this thing off.
Correct.
That was incredible to the point where then we took it on the road, which was awesome. Last year we were up at Snoqualmie Casino, which was an unbelievable venue. Great time. You know the deal now. There's nothing going on this year, so
right.
We're going to do the best we can on this thing because technically this is going to be like this year. It might be a bit of a mess. It might be a little bit crazy. We have no idea.
And there's nothing we can do about it.
There's nothing we can do except for sit here and sound like idiots.
It's like watching someone fall off of a roof.
Exactly.
Yeah, hope they don't hit the ground, but you know they're going to hit the ground.
You want them to land on like their side and not their head.
Right.
You know what I mean? Hopefully.
And then you watch them land on their head.
All the details on Live Day at KISW.com. All right, but y'all, let's get this thing going on. It's a big show for you today. The exciting return of Who Sucks Less. Steve, you bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week.
Yes.
All of them suck. It's up to us, though, to determine out of the 3 stories which one sucks the least. How are we stacking up today?
I think today is a tough one. There is took Mike a second, but I said, I promise you there's a common thread that you'll discover through all 3 stories. And you will understand it. By the time I get to story 2, it'll start making sense. But every story involves adults, but they're going back to their ways of childhood, let's say.
Okay. All right. As far as our question goes today, Mike, yesterday on stories you were not working on in headlines, you had a little survey that said basically like, look, would you be willing to go out with someone who had these pets?
Correct.
We started with all kinds of crazy
tarantulas,
potbelly pig. We had a snake, tarantulas,
guinea pigs.
Yeah, and that was a weird one.
No, hamster.
That's right.
That was a weird one because you walk into
You're an
someone's
adult.
house.
You want a hamster.
They've got an apartment, and then Ted's got this huge habit trail. Now it's cool. I mean, there's like a thing he can run on.
But he's an adult with a hamster.
And the hamster obviously has a name. The hamster comes up and lays on his shoulder, when he's home.
Buck.
Buck the
hamster.
Buck the hamster.
I'm not sure how that sounds to people.
I'm not, and for a fact, even if you had a great date, Ted, even if dinner went really well, to the point where you decided to go back and she was willing to come back to your apartment and your place, she walks in and she sees this thing. Now, maybe even still the night goes just as planned. Bottom line is, soon as she gets in her car tomorrow morning, the first person that she's calling, who's her best friend, says, "It went great. I really like him. He has a hamster."
Oh, does he have kids?
No. Nothing.
No. That's why it's weird. Just
straight to the hamster.
Buck the hamster.
That's it. I mean, that's the only topic of conversation, right. No matter who, anyone of her buddy. Hey, how'd the day go last night? He's got a hamster. He's got like this whole thing.
Right.
That's nothing about dinner, nothing about the conversation, nothing about anything else other than the fact that you have a hamster, which could in fact be a deal breaker. And we know that everybody has something a little bit different as far as peculiarities that they just cannot deal with. Mm-hmm. And in their deal breakers, in relationships, in life, in food, all of those things. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. In life, love, or food, what for you is a deal breaker? And we'll start in India. A 27-year-old woman in India married a 29-year-old man. This is back in September. The day after their wedding, he revealed he had a secret. A secret. He was, in fact, bald. He had been wearing a hairpiece for the entire time she'd known him and only revealed the truth after the marriage was official. I'm going to assume that they did not
have sex.
Yes.
There's no way. There's no way.
You would know. I mean, first of all, you can always tell when someone's got a rug on their head, which if I am a woman, all right, that's a deal breaker to me. Because I would think, like, look, just shave your head. You're already a good-looking guy. You're confident enough. That thing looks ridiculous.
Yes, it does.
If you insist on doing that. I'm talking about the hair piece in particular.
But I don't know if he's been wearing it the whole time. I mean, I hooked up with a girl that didn't realize she was wearing a wig.
She was wearing a wig?
Yeah.
How different did she look without it?
No, like a wig.
She was bald.
She wasn't bald. She just was wearing a wig. She had shorter hair.
Okay. How short was the hair?
Pretty short.
Okay. All right.
Did you know it was? You said you did not know it was.
I did not know.
Did you have sex and then, like, I don't know, came off like, don't pull my hair. Whatever you do, don't pull my hair.
It was like days later. And she was like, yeah, that was a wig. And I was like, oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so she just showed up with her regular hair.
Yeah, it was right. It was different.
Okay.
You got a haircut? She got a haircut?
I mean, that would have been my thought.
Did you
cut your hair?
No, it was just like, it's a different hairstyle. And she was like, yeah, I wear wigs. I was like, oh, yep, my bad.
See, not a deal breaker to me.
I mean, no.
I'm just saying, I could see how this guy pulled it off. Okay. If he had a good rug on there.
But they had to be engaged, man. Like, you were with her for a bit. But, like, if you're like, hey, man, I've been with Sheila for 2 years. We got married. And the day after we got married, she pulled her wig off. Like, Ted, how in the hell did you not know for 2 years, being in a relationship with this woman, that she had a wig? I think that's the difference,
Yeah. I don't know. This guy deceived her, but I kind of respect it.
Okay, all right.
Well, obviously he knew.
But you hadn't been physical with her when she had a wig on.
Yeah, we had.
You had, and you still didn't know?
No.
Are you a non-hair toucher?
I guess I wasn't that night.
Okay, all right. I just wondered.
Boy, that 3 for a loop, right? Like, yeah. Oh, my God.
I pulled her hair.
Oh, Jesus. Because you're not thinking it's a wig.
I don't know if I can perform now.
Yeah, it was a very quick thing.
Yeah.
Like, right, like, we hung out, blah, blah, blah. And the next time I saw her, I was just like, oh, different hair.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I wear wigs. Like, yep.
Okay, cool. That's fine.
Well, he had been wearing a hairpiece for the entire time she'd known him and only revealed the truth after the marriage was official. So now she's filed a legal complaint against him where she says she never, ever, ever would have married him if she'd had known that he was bald.
Now, to be fair, a lot of this is on him. You waited till the day after you got married, like, surprise, I'm bald.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she's a little petty, but on the other hand, like, you could share that much with someone. I want to share my life with you. We share our secrets. Don't touch my hair.
Yeah. Police are looking into, believe it or not, whether there was fraud involved. So that's the level this goes to.
I mean, there's different laws in different countries. I think it depends entirely on what he said. If they never discussed his hair, then technically it's not fraud any more than a woman wearing makeup. I know you don't actually look like that, but I don't think it's fraud when you take your makeup off, right?
Okay.
But if she insisted the entire time, no, my eyes are naturally blue from my eyebrows to the tops of my eyelid. I mean, that's the difference. Did he say it was his real hair, or did he just show you that he was wearing a toupee the day after getting married?
Now, let me ask you this. If you met someone who was extreme as far as what they were into, all right, Is that a deal breaker, knowing their passion for something? And we'll bring you the story coming up about the guy.
You talking about like a sports or like politics or?
Okay, I come into your house and everything, Ted, is Disney. The salt and pepper shakers, the napkin holder, everything in the kitchen is Disney.
What kind of deal are we talking about? A deal for the night? No. Long term? I mean, again, I don't know, because you might be the nicest person I've ever met in my life. But I'm always just going to wonder, again, because we're adults, just like, hey, man, the Cinderella salt shaker, it just seems a bit much.
All right.
Because this is your normal dinnerware. This is your normal decor. You go like, It's like the chicks that you meet and, they're like 35 years old and you walk into the bedroom and the bed is full of stuffed animals.
Right.
It's just like, for whatever reason, that's like the hamster to me, where it's like, man, I'm sure you're nice, but something about that is a red flag to me.
Sure. I got behind a guy the other day that had nothing but stickers of Star Wars. Action figures, window decals, you name it. Like every single thing that you could possibly buy with Star Wars is on the back of this car. Now, I am a Star Wars fan. I grew up with Star Wars. Obviously, I don't like them all, but I like what I like. I like The Mandalorian. If I walked into someone's house and they had R2-D2 salt and pepper shakers and all those other things, I can see that it's not a deal breaker to you.
No, it depends how much you have. If I walk in, I know you like Star Wars. You got the R2-D2
This is different than a
salt
man
and pepper
cave
shaker
or a hobby room.
I'm okay with that, because that's kind of funny if it's an isolated thing. Now, if I sit down and realize my chair is modeled after the cockpit of an X-Wing fighter, then I go, okay, this is a bit much. But it also tells me, like, that's where you're going to spend all of your money. So I guess for me, it would be this. If you make enough money that we're in a relationship and I don't have to contribute to your mania, right, then I'm okay with that. Look, I have a bunch of musical equipment. I buy it all. No one has to buy it for me. But if you walk into my music room, there's more instruments than I need.
But that to me, that's not weird. That's a hobby that you have. Having salt and pepper shakers shaped as guitars, all right.
Okay, all right, right. That's where you stepped. I got you. Now it's an obsession.
Look, man, I mean, I think we do it with sports. I definitely have friends that have rooms full of jerseys.
They do, but it's not throughout the home. They're significant others.
You can have a room dedicated.
You can put this.
That I'm okay with.
You can hang up your jersey on the wall that you have framed.
So her whole house isn't Disney. It's just the basement.
The basement's Disney. The basement's Disney is a little. That's a break. But I was going to go back to this.
No. Look. If you're, like you said with the sports stuff, for the most part, when guys put up that kind of crap, we have a room or the garage, and it is understood, this is our passion, this is what we love. Maybe it's stupid, maybe it's not, but it is isolated, and I have to invite you into this space. But if you were to just walk through the rest of my home, there's normal plates. It doesn't say Baltimore Ravens. It's like, it's just a plate. Although, I will say I had Baltimore Ravens napkins for quite a long time.
Because, it flies a flag. It tells you something. Like, when you have that Scarface poster you're going to put up with the picture, right?
Right.
If I walked into your house immediately, I'd be like, Ted, where's the Coke? Because if that is the one thing that's in your living room, because there's one thing, that movie means one thing to me. Cocaine. Right. So if you're like a fan of that, then to me that says, Ted really likes cocaine. Because Scarface.
I just like gangsters.
I know that, but I don't know that. I'm going to ask you if you've got a bump on you if I come to your house for a Christmas
But I don't think so, because people that like illegal drugs, with the exception of weed, all right? Yeah. Because weed, even when weed was illegal everywhere.
If I have a Bob Marley poster up in my living room.
But nobody cared even when weed was illegal, if they said, you smoke weed, you're like, yeah, I do. And that's why I got the pot bumper sticker in the back of my, right? Nobody but say, I love cocaine. You know what I mean? Like, if you have Scarface, you like the movie Scarface, or you just like cinema in general. People don't advertise the coke thing. Weed, nobody cares, right? You want a drug rug? I assume it's weed, and they're like, no, I don't smoke weed, I snort coke. Like, people keep that under wrap. People break that out at the corporate Christmas party.
Sure.
Right?
Okay,
we had a guy come up to us today, all right? We call him Aaron Neville, because he looks like Aaron Neville.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So we're outside smoking cigarettes, I will point out, and Aaron Neville rolls up to us and says, hey, guys, let me ask you something. We're like, what's up? And even though I can't see his face because of the mask, I know he's smiling, because dude's always smiling.
Always.
But he goes, are you guys in the studio alone? We say, yeah, bro. I mean, since the pandemic, like, we're pretty much, other than BJ's show in the morning, but when we're here, we're basically the only people here. We're like, so y'all don't need to walk around the block to smoke that chiba. You can do it upstairs. Well, we could,
yes.
but we don't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The chiba.
Yeah, just like...
Yeah, right?
We were like, well, we could, but we don't do it. But again, because it's weed. I don't think he'd roll up and be like, you up there alone? Yeah. Y'all doing 8 balls? You know what I mean? It's just,
yeah. I was even going to go back to the fact that I think it's weird if people cover the back of their cars in bumper stickers.
I don't
Not
think
that it's a
weird.
deal breaker. It's just one of those things I'm like, what the hell's this? It's just me.
It doesn't bother me. I mean, in the end, I just read what it is you like. I don't know why you think anyone cares, but you put it up there.
So,
actually, the one that bugs me, the one that does bug me is like because I know that the stick figure bumper sticker represents your family. You know, so it's like, you got 3 kids, you got 2 dogs. I don't care. Mm-hmm. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, my buddy, man, he was married for a long time. Had 3 kids. All the kids grew up. He finds out that his wife is not being faithful. Mm-hmm. All right. So he gets a divorce and all that. It drug out for a little while, and he was not very happy with the scenario and all this stuff because he still had a couple kids he wanted to raise and everything else. But nonetheless, they get separated.
Sounds like a divorce.
Yeah, separated and get a divorce. Year goes by, and he calls me. He's like, hey, man, I got a girlfriend. And I was like, sweet, dude. And he lives in Ohio.
All right.
And I'm like, well, good for you, man. He's like, yeah, man, it's really going good. You know, she's like me. She likes to chew tobacco. She likes to.
Whoa.
Back up.
I don't know. I mean, look.
As a back up. Back up.
He chews tobacco, too.
He dips, she chews.
Oh, wow.
This is what I find out after the fact. He's like, you got to meet her.
Like Levi Garrett?
A mail pouch. Oh, yeah. Red man, whatever she can get a hold of. Sure. So, all right. So I'm going to meet this girl. All right. So we're back home. It's my 30-year high school class reunion. He comes into town. He's bringing his girlfriend with him. I'm like, Jesus, what is this going to be? You know what I mean? Like, so we're going to meet at this restaurant. I walk in the restaurant. He is in the bathroom.
All right.
She is sitting by herself at a booth. I walk into the restaurant, and I look over.
Did you say restaurant?
Did you say restaurant?
That's why.
All right,
I'm completely
now we know she's hot.
I look over, and I'm like, oh, my God, who is that? Look at that. Wow. Immediately, Pat comes out of the bathroom, gives me a big hug, embraces, the whole thing. Good to see you. We walk over, and it's her.
Really?
It's her.
Did you watch her chew it all?
No. Yes.
So it's this gorgeous woman.
When they're done eating the meal, she's got to go have a chaw.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I mean.
And that's when I realized the thing about deal breakers is if it's out of your league, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? If this person is out of your league, there's no deal breaker that you won't overlook. And that's the
what? You're right. You're absolutely right.
That's the weird.
If Mariah Carey came up to you, Ted,
I mean, though, I wouldn't care. Like, I've dated smokers. I've never dated a chewer or
it was just a weird thing. I had a different perception in my mind of what this person was going to be.
Well, sure, we got the Tammy, right?
You were expecting
We got Tammy with the iron skillet.
This girl's from Ohio, and she's been raised on a farm her entire life. She's built like she basically just does the farm herself.
Sure.
I mean, she's put together like a brick, you know what.
I'll tell you one thing, I wouldn't invite her over to meet my hamster.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I get it, because the whole time.
Now I get it. Oh.
Right, yeah. Because to me, you know what I mean, the taste of wintergreen every time I stuck my tongue in her mouth would be, something that I have to get used to. But I'm like,
kind of refreshing.
I can fight through this.
Yeah.
I just think of it as like double mint gum.
If you look like that, it's all good.
Our question in life, love, or food, what for you is a deal breaker? 206-421-ROCK.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
Everyone is talking about Top Gun Maverick, and it's now the #1 movie in the world.
Outstanding.
It will leave you cheering. Yes! And is the ultimate summer movie experience.
Damn right.
Tom Cruise, Top Gun Maverick, rated PG-13.
You're in the men's room. 99.9 KISW and KISW HD1 Seattle.
Collecting Funko's pop vinyl figures has become a pretty popular hobby, but they were cast in a new light thanks to a viral post on Reddit. Post comes from a husband who said he's been collecting the Funko Pops for a long time before he met his wife of 2 years. His wife was aware of the hobby when they first began dating, had encouraged it by buying him figures to add to his collection as birthday and Christmas presents. However, in recent months, his spending on the collection has increased to over $500 each month. His wife confronted him about his habit, asked him to take a break, cut back because she was afraid of spending would send him into debt. Husband, though, refused, believing his wife was overreacting and out of line to try to diminish his, quote, passion for the Funko Pops. The ensuing argument led to him sleeping on the couch and then to her leaving to stay with her sister and giving him an ultimatum that he must stop buying Pops or get served with divorce papers. Ted, what did he choose? Did he choose to stay with his wife, or did he choose to keep collecting the Funko Pops?
How long were they married?
2 years.
He went Funko.
He did go Funko Pops.
You are correct.
That's correct.
I mean, they are cool.
They are. I mean, that's rough for her. Why'd you get divorced? My husband likes toys.
But also,
like sex toys? Like, no, just the
but
small,
you
cool little...
put it on him. You say, hey, you get to make a decision. And then he made his decision. Funko.
Yeah.
I think the only thing, like, if somebody said to me, hey, you can never watch sports again, I'd be like, it took me a long time to find this wife, but sorry.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah, like sports are my thing. Even if I'm not watching it, I just like it on in the background.
Sure.
So I get the passion this man has.
Oh, I absolutely understand. Now, granted, you watching sports does not cost money. Right? Because inevitably that's her angle. Like, look, I don't care if you collect Funko, but I'd be happier if you went, where are they, in Everett or something, and stole them. But you're spending the money. And I guess he got to $500 a month, and she's like, no. I don't know what those things go for. They're very cool. I like them, but
they're awesome.
He agrees.
Look, man, I got a buddy. I haven't seen him in about 2 years. He got married 2 years ago. He was one of those guys who was single for a long, long time. Mm-hmm. Met this woman, and they got together, and I have not seen him since. And the word on the street is, it's not just me, because I was thinking to myself, maybe I've never met this woman, but she doesn't like me.
She's heard of you?
Oh. She doesn't like me for whatever reason. Turns out he is not allowed to hang out with any of his friends anymore.
That's ridiculous.
She will not let him do anything with any of his friends. So basically, I just took his number out of the phone, because I figured he would never call me again to hang out. So I was like, all right, well...
How do you get in a position where somebody lets you do something? As an adult.
I don't know. I don't know. That, to me, see, that would be a deal
You can complain about it, but you're not letting me do anything. I'm letting you know that I'm going to go do this thing, right? Mm-hmm. And generally within reason. I'm not with you 7 days a week.
Right.
Yeah, I go
going out for a couple hours. Just going to go hang and do what I do, and you know.
And you know what I do? I drink.
Right.
Yeah, that's odd.
Even when you get what did you guys do? Like, can you tell by my eyes and my lack of balance? You know what we did. Same thing we always do. We got really drunk.
But you know what? He was never in that. He never.
He wasn't that guy.
He was not that guy. He was the guy who would go out and get a couple of mixed drinks and sit there and sip on them. He never got out of hand. He never was crazy. He was never just over the top. He was just out, and he was fun to hang out with.
All right.
You know what I mean? So I was like, and I have not seen him since. I mean, it's been 2 years. It's insane.
No kidding.
I used to see him like 3 or 4 times a week.
You'll see him again in about a year and a half. And
it's
he
also
will
just weird,
drink.
like man, woman, whatever. Just like, why would you be in a relationship with somebody and then not want them to have friends?
Or have...
That's always been my angle. Do you care if I'm like, are you going to have fun? If you're going to have fun, I encourage you to go do that. I like the idea of you being happy. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on the opposite side. Like we don't have to spend every day together. You should go with your...
Hey, man, look. You know, people take that wrong when you say, dude, we don't want to spend all of our time together. We need to do different things. Now, one of the two people in this relationship is going to be mildly upset by that. And then things have been shut down since March. It's like, told you.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, this is what I was telling you, because this is what happens when you spend all of your time together. Now we hate each other, we drink a lot, we're putting on weight.
Pretty much.
Right? I mean, this is why you don't want to spend that much time together. We got some comments here. This one, it says, a buddy of mine, and I know this has happened to everybody, male or female, and it's freaking annoying. It says, a buddy of mine hooked me up with a friend. She was smoking hot, but only ate raw veggies. Not a big deal. But all she wanted to talk about was the health benefits of eating raw. Deal breaker.
Dietary stuff is tough on relationships.
I don't have a hard time with it. Look, if it's something you always go on about, then I have a problem. Because like anything, like you said, one of my hobbies is playing music. I do not talk to my wife or you guys about me playing music all the time. So it's like, okay. But like if you have a dietary restriction, like, boy, it's going to be hard for you to order something at the restaurant. Like, whatever your problem is, that's yours. I don't like vegetables, so I just don't eat them. If you can't eat what I want to eat, then we won't be sharing a plate.
Sure, but it's tough when, let's say you married a vegetarian.
Now, come on now. Deal breaker.
But they're the person who's making the majority of the meals. they're not going to make you any meat. You're going to take care of that every time you want meat.
No
Everything
problem
else
with
is
that.
going to be vegetables.
I got no problem with that.
Okay.
Because we would establish at the top,
It's
like,
hard.
look, I'm not going to eat what you eat. You're not going to eat what I eat. We understand. That's no big deal. There's no conflict. Just, I'm going to make a burger. You make whatever you graze on, you know? And I'm cool. We can still sit down and eat.
Do you think like a guy who is one of those guys who barbecues, 3 or 4 days a week, always going on the weekends? He's the guy that gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any of those guys or girls that are married to a vegetaririan?
Maybe. Because, again, it's not his problem.
Yeah, all right.
Because people that cook like that, part of it is the joy of cooking.
But the
So
love
does the
that
hobby.
you, kind of like that you kind of share.
But
with
I
people
don't
through
care
food.
what you eat. Like, to me, that's something that I've never understood. Like, I don't care what you... Why would I care what you eat? It's not in my mouth. It's in yours. I'm sorry that you have to eat that garbage, but I'm going to keep eating my pulled pork, bro. I mean, like, if you eat your raw carrots, knock yourself out.
Right.
I don't want to hear about it, but I'm going to eat my
I'm
barbecue.
just saying it's again the level of hotness, but it's difficult. It really is difficult, especially when it's where are we going to go out to eat? What can we get for takeout? What restaurants can we go to? All those things. It just becomes a little bit more of a debate as far as
it's a little more, but in the end, we find a menu that offers both, right?
Right.
And the other thing is, defer to the person that eats meat. And the reason why is this: inevitably, unless we go to a barbecue place, they'll have something on the menu for your ass, right? But if we go to the veggie grill, they don't have hay. They also have a steak, right? So I'm not getting S out of this. Like, we're going to go to the place I want to go.
But even if it's just basic stuff, the only vegetarian option at McDonald's is fries.
Yeah.
So, it's like, no matter where let me just pull in real quick. You're hungry, you can't even do that because there's just nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think that's one is a huge deal.
I will order 2 fries.
I will say this.
Also, are we really having McDonald's for dinner?
Well, in a pinch.
I mean,
we're hungry. We've been on a road trip.
Yeah, we're driving down the road. It's been 4 hours.
They got salads at McDonald's.
Do they anymore?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Of course.
Really?
Yeah.
You're positive about this?
Maybe.
I thought they got rid of them this year, like when it started streamlining. Like, look, you don't come here for the salad. We know damn well you do not go to McDonald's for the salad. Why do we have it on the menu? We're wasting your time. We're wasting our time. And, by the way, if you're a vegetarian, you'd have no problem with me getting a burger because all the vegetables on my burger come off. I would hand you my lettuce, my tomato. You get a double meal.
That's it.
Then this guy checks in and says, hey, guys, I had a short-term girlfriend. We're at the lake. We're laying in the sun. Pretty girl walks by. I look at my girlfriend. Girlfriend looks at me, picks through her purse, pulls out a gun, and said to me, if you cheat on me, this is for you. I went to Alaska the next week.
Wow.
That's a fine decision.
Wow.
That is a good decision. See, when I got busted checking out a chick, we were on a beach in Florida, and I had mirrored sunglasses on, and I'm reading a book, and I mean, just this stunningly gorgeous woman walks by in a bikini, and I swear to God, it's like she's walking in slow motion. It's like an 80s montage, right? And I'm checking her out, but whatever, but I got the book. I got the mirrored shades. I'm laying there as though I'm not looking at her, so I don't look as creepy as I am. My wife walks out of the water, looks at me and says, hey, man, you'd be a lot smoother if your book wasn't upside down. I'm like, oh, my bad. My bad.
I think...
All right, so I was wrong. I don't think they have salads anymore. But you know what?
They can get fries.
She can get fries and some apple slices.
All right. Yeah. That's getting it done. Da-da-da-da-da.
You're feeling it.
Oh, wait.
What?
Someone says McDonald's French fries are not vegetarian. They're seasoned with beef flavoring as well as milk solids.
Oh.
Well, don't tell her.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? Part of it, too, is like, I'm almost be 40. Like, I've lost the range of being like, you're vegetarian, you're out.
I'll take anything now.
Yeah, like, cool, you're a vegetarian. Dope.
At this point, you're like a motel on the side of the highway, and I'm getting drowsy.
Yeah, I might just pull a carrot out of my pants. You want some carrot?
Here's a doozy right here. A new mom has revealed her fury after her ex-partner, who she shares custody with, dropped off the wrong baby. The woman explained how she was in the middle of a work call when her son's father dropped the 17-month-old baby at her house. As the baby was sleeping, she didn't come to see him immediately, but 10 minutes later, when the little boy started to cry, she made the discovery, that is not my baby. She said, I immediately noticed this was not my son, as my son has blue eyes, and this baby had green eyes. Taking off the baby's hat also showed dark blonde hair and not my son's light brown hair. I immediately called Sean in full panic mode, telling him to bring me the correct child right this second. She went on to explain that her ex, Sean, had another baby, who is just 6 weeks younger than her son, who he had dropped off by mistake.
All right.
So this guy, Sean, and I, we have a kind of a complicated history. But the important part of the history is that Sean got me and another woman, Linda, pregnant at roughly the same time.
We got that with the 6 weeks. Yeah.
Our sons are only about 6 weeks apart. Lydia's son is currently just over 15 months, while mine is under 17. We have identical custody agreements. We both had sole custody for the entire first year, with Sean only having visitation. And when both boys were a year old, then it became 50-50. Both myself and Lydia have our sons for odd weeks, while Sean gets the even weeks. That means Sean has both boys at the same time. He pushed for this as he wanted a week on, week off from looking after the kids.
Mr.
So he
Miyagi.
had both of the kids at the same time. When the poster called Sean telling him to return her baby to her, he was only 10 minutes away en route to Lydia's to drop off the wrong child. Yeah. Jesus effing Christ. It was the worst 10 minutes of my life, but Sean came back smiling, carrying my son, and says in the most condescending tone of voice, "See, he's fine. No harm done." I told him that we are fixing this custody agreement. He is not having both boys alone again. He couldn't tell his own two sons apart, so the solution here is for him to not be in position to confuse them. I want it to be known that I have my child. He is not with Lydia's at the same time. I do not feel that this is a lot to ask. I trusted that Sean as a father knew the difference between his children, which he clearly does not. Sean thinks she's being unreasonable and doesn't want to go about that.
You got to let her calm down a little bit, but homie, you effed up. You can't drop off. This will pass, but I can understand. I think I would take the same position. Like, yeah, if you can't tell the kids apart, I'm not comfortable with you having the kids when I'm not there.
Not a good look.
God damn.
And life, love, or food, what for you is a deal breaker? Ted, is there any deal breaker as far as someone having children or the number of children that they have?
I mean, a number, I think, might go a long way.
Yeah, I think a number would go a long way, and maybe how old it is.
Would it be helpful if the child was a full-grown adult?
Well, sure.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, right, like...
What's the worst age, do you think? Like, you're going to date this chick, you really get along, she says, I have a son. You go, okay.
Is he over 5?
You tell me. So you walk into the house.
No, that's what I'm saying. 2 to 3, I think, right? Don't they call them terrible 2s? And then everybody's like, 3's actually worse.
Yeah, but the thing is, when it's not your kid, it's funny. That's the honest to God truth, right? So when it's not your kid and you watch someone else's 2 to 3-year-old do what they do, it's hilarious. When it's your kid, it's a problem.
Could you handle
So to me, what if they're like a teen? 12, 13.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's okay. That's a tough one. I don't
know.
know.
You ever dated anybody with a kid?
Yeah, but not like seriously.
Okay.
So I didn't have to interact with the kid much.
Cool.
Other than, a little like, oh, dap it up, fella. All right, good to see you.
How was the
I'm
kid?
going to go bang your mom. I mean,
He was fine, but, he was just, a little kid.
Okay.
It's not like you really...
Was he like, Mister?
No.
Nothing like that?
Jesus. No. I mean, look, again, I'm almost 40. Like, obviously, you can't rule out single parents.
Sure, no, obviously. I mean, it probably is impossible to find somebody who does not have kids.
Yeah, there's a lot of people with kids.
Right.
Didn't you had sex with some broad and like, did you know she had a kid? You woke up like in her trailer or whatever.
I knew.
And then the kid wanted to know.
I didn't know how many kids.
Right.
I just knew that there were kids asleep in the bedroom.
Okay.
So that was all I knew. Well, it was just one kid.
But didn't he like wake you up like, Mister, do you want to play video games or cartoons or something?
He did. He woke me up.
As mom hooked up for pancakes.
I was like, yeah, hey, hi. He's like, you want to play video games? I'm like, all right.
You did just have sex with my mom.
Okay. All right. I'll get up and play video games with you. So I got up and play video games with him. It's fine.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, that's the thing. Like, I'm fine, like, hanging out with kids, but I don't know. It'd be weird if, like, the kid really likes the dad, just hated me.
Yeah, but that was weird for me because I was younger and I did not have kids at that point.
Sure.
In time. And these kids, the kid was like 8 or 9.
All right.
Oh, damn. All right.
So, she was a little bit older than me, but, it was just weird because I never had a parenting, like, kind of experience before like that. Other than taking care of my brother and my sister. For me, I'm just like, all right, whatever, And he's like, will you come back and see me? And I'm like, all these questions.
Probably not.
Right? Oh, yeah. Because like,
but what do you say?
I don't know. I'm just picturing
because now he likes you.
Being uncomfortable as that question.
Well, we went outside and threw baseball together. And after that was over with, and we had breakfast, we had pancakes.
You be my new dad.
Basically, and when I left, he like grabbed my leg. You know what I mean? And he's like, hey, Mister, you going to come back? Mr. Miles, you going to come back? And I was like, I think I'm maybe invited. I don't know how that's going to go down.
Did you ever go back?
I know.
Did she ever invite you
I
back?
never saw her again. I was a DJ at a club, and she just happened to come in with a group of her friends. And so, like, one of her friends had agreed to, like, it was a sister, whatever, watch her kids while she went out for
Okay,
a night.
all right.
So this is like her night out. Like, she doesn't get out very often. So they closed down the club and, like, you want to go get someplace else, get a drink? I'm like, sure, I'll go someplace else. Because, I mean, even though we closed like 1, the bars are still open till 2.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you can still go someplace else to a bar and get a beer. So that's basically the way that went down. And then after that, I just never kind of saw her again. I'm not even sure, because I thought about this too. I don't even remember if I know the exact, okay, like, and I'm not
What was
making,
the kid's name?
I don't know. I do know this. I do know this. And this is the honest to God truth. At the end of Raiders, when they hide the Ark or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay. And they pull into this major warehouse. That would kind of be like what it was like to pull into that trailer park. There had to be like
You couldn't find a trailer again.
600 trailers in this park. It was enormous. It was like, Meadows West, Meadows East.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? It was huge. And because I had a couple buddies that lived in there. So I told them I hooked up, was like, oh, good luck finding that. You know what I mean? I'm like, every one of these trailers looks the same. And they're all like, I don't even think I know where to go, like to find the place.
I'm so sorry. I'm still just picturing now me leaving. Am I going to see you again? I don't know, kid. It's up to your mom.
Right, exactly. Well,
Ah, you can get a babysitter again, maybe.
yeah. But waking up in a trailer, that was kind of cool. It's like waking up like when I was a kid.
Sounds awesome.
You know what I mean? You're like, hey, man, all right, I know this ceiling really well. You know what I mean?
I don't know you, kid, but I know the ceiling.
Oh, yeah. Good times. And life, love, or food, what for you is a deal breaker? 206-421-ROCK.
Oh, wow. Someone says at McDonald's, you can request a Big Mac without the meat, have extra lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, and onions and cheese.
All right.
I just don't feel like my date's going to be really like, hey, I'm looking out for your dietary restrictions, and I know you're vegetarian, so we're going to stop by McDonald's. No, but wait. I'm going to get you a meatless Big Mac. Mm-hmm. Who loves you, baby? Who loves you?
I'm just saying, I think there's a lot of people that like meat that date vegetarians. That one doesn't seem that hard to get around.
It's just when you live together and you're cooking food together, it just becomes a little bit more difficult.
It's a little more difficult.
Well,
I eat veggie a few times.
It's fine a few times.
Meatless Monday.
It's what I'm saying. It's okay. But
sometimes you want a noodle, not a zoodle.
Right, but that's it. And exactly. In that fake ground meat.
Sometimes you want chicken, not tofu.
It's terrible. Like, it's terrible in tacos. It's terrible in chili. It's like, could we just do turkey or anything
I think
like
we're
that?
finding out this is a what are we calling it? Sorry.
Oh, it sucks.
This is you. This is a deal breaker.
Oh, this is ciabatta. I'm telling you right now. If I ever met like a ciabatta baker, I'd be like, dude, I'm out. Because you make the worst bread ever for a living. I'm not going out with you. I don't care if it's like world acclaimed. It's terrible.
Would you let her rub you down in ciabatta?
Sure. No.
Oh,
No.
I would.
Like, I hate blue cheese, but she's like, I'm going to put it on you. I'm like, all right. Oh, God, that would be so nasty.
I hate arugula, but if she's like, I'm going to wrap this around, I'm like, cool.
You can pick the arugula off like you can the sandwich. Is the difference.
I do.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
Our question in life, love, or food, what for you is a deal breaker? 206-421-ROCK.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.